Welcome back, buddies. So this is a pretty interesting session. I get there, I'm top of the list. I'm sitting there for 20 minutes waiting for the 1-3. There are 4 tables, and it doesn't look like anybody's going to bust out anytime soon. There are like 6 people on the 1-3 list after me. There are 7 people on the 2-5. My bankroll's not good for 2-5, but I'm sitting here waiting forever. I can buy in for the minimum, which means it's only 50% more than the 1-3 buy-in. I asked him, hey, if I start the 2-5, can we get that going right away? He said, yep, and then all the 1-3 players can sit down. So that's what we did. We opened the 2-5, I bought in for the minimum 300, and this is what happened.
Going down to 2-5, gonna have myself a time.
Poker buddies everywhere, gambling folks never folding.
Going down to 2-5, gonna leave my money behind.
Plenty of buddies give you money, people winning hardly ever.
Going down to 2-5, gonna see if I win this time.
Tournaments are big cut, no structure sucks, no one shows.
So come on down to 2-5 and take some chips of mine.
Our first hand, we pick up Ace Queen, completely miss the flop, and are forced to fold when the button bets out 35. In our next hand, we look down at pocket 2s. We are in the hijack. There are a bunch of limpers. I limp along. Small blind raises it to 25. Guy on my right calls. I call. There are a total of 5 people seeing the flop. The flop comes king 10-10. It's a pretty bad board. Could take a stab at it if it folded around, but it doesn't. Small blind leads out, and we fold. Our next hand, we have Queen Jack, a small blind. Under the gun makes it 15. There are a few callers. I call as well. Flop comes 6-10 ace. We pick up a gut shot. Under the gun goes 25. Button calls. I call. The turn is a king. We nail our straight. We now have the nuts with the heart draw on board. We check. Button goes 45. I decide to slow play here and just call the 45. The river is another king. I don't have much behind, so I decide to shove it all in here just in case he was planning on checking it back. I think the better play probably is just to check it though. I think he was probably going to bet again. I should have gave him that option. This is a pretty scary card on a scary board. He thinks about it for quite a while and folds. We take down a pretty nice pot. Next hand we have is King Queen of Diamonds. In the cutoff, there's a straddle for 10. There's 2 callers. I make it 50 to go. The big blind calls. Middle position calls. Flop comes 4, Jack, 9. Giving us another gut shot. I make it 80. The middle position calls. Turn is a 9. I decide to shove it all in here, and he quickly folds. So we're slowly building up our tiny stack here. We pick up deuces again, and under the gun +1. I limp. Not something I normally do, but with deuces I don't really want to raise and get raised. Hijack makes it 30. There's 2 callers, so I call. Flop comes 2-3 queen. We nailed our set. Can't get much better than that. There are 2 hearts. We check it over to the hijack. He continuation bets for 75. He could be betting with hearts. He could be betting with a queen. If I raise, he's got a queen or a heart draw. He's probably not folding, so it's better just to get it in while I'm ahead. I make it 200, and he calls. The turn is the 3 of diamonds, locking it up with the boat. We're no longer afraid of the hearts. I go ahead and shove here. I don't think he's folding at this point. I've only got about 250. He calls, and the river is the 9 of diamonds. This guy is the buy-in short guy. That's what I call him. He likes to buy in for the very minimum, and he is ultra aggressive, trying to get a big stack. And then he starts to play more normal, but he rebuys many, many times every session. He'll get up to 2,000 or 3,000, and he'll lose it, and he'll buy in for the minimum again. He'll be shoving all in, being super aggressive. He'll get it up to 1,000, 1,500, he'll lose it all again. This is how he likes to play. So I like to be in hands with him. Super aggressive, very wide range. Our next hand, we pick up 4-4. We are in the small blind. Middle position raises it up to 25. There are 7 callers. The flop comes a favorable 4-4 jack. No, I seriously just flopped quads in a massive pot against a ton of opponents. It can't get any better than this. Obviously, I check it. Middle position throws out 75. I call. Another calls. Turn is the 7 of clubs. I'm pretty much locked up this board. I'm not worried about any cards. I'm still going to be checking here. Even if I did get beat, I'd win the bad beat jackpot, so not worried at all. The river comes the 2 of spades. Now the middle position goes 225. The next guy calls the 225. This cannot get any better. He's probably got a really good hand. He may have a set, giving him a boat. He may have a flush. No one's going to be worried about quads for sure. I go ahead and shove. They think about it a very long time. The original eraser calls. The second guy folds. I flip over the pocket 4s. Obviously, I'm taking this pot down. And I also get an extra 75 for quad promotion. So far, running really good. We've taken our original $300, and now we have a monster stack thanks to a set of 2s and quad 4s. And next hand we pick up pocket 9s. We're on the button. Middle position makes it 20. Guy on my right calls. I call. Both of the blinds call. The flop comes 3-7 ace. Middle position throws out the same bet. Cutoff calls. There's already 140 in there. It's 20 to call. I make the call. Both of the blinds call again. The turn is the 4 of hearts. Now middle position increases the bet to 75. I'm actually not really worried about what he could have. I'm more worried about the fact that we are still 5-handed. 5-handed, my 9s can't be good. Somebody has to have an ace. I go ahead and fold. Our next hand is pocket 9s again. Yes, we are getting a ton of pocket pairs. There is a $10 straddle. I'm in the hijack. There are 4 callers. I go ahead and call. The flop comes 5 ace 6. Another ace high flop, giving me middle pair. Middle position goes 15. I call, and 2 others call behind. The turn is the queen of clubs. Now the hijack goes 100. We're going to go ahead and fold this. Someone's likely to have an ace or a queen. Or even better, we all fold, and middle position flips over pocket 5s for a set of 5s. Moving on, we pick up ace king. Middle position, +1, opens to 25. Typically I'll raise with ace king, but this time I elect just to call. And there are 3 callers behind. Flop comes 4-3-3. +1 now makes it 30. I make the call. This is unlikely to hit anyone's hand. There's a good possibility I'm still ahead, or that he has ace king and we're chopping. The small blind calls as well. This hits the small blind's range a little better than my range. Turn is the 9. It gets checked through. River is a jack of spades. Now the small blind bets out 175. All I have is ace high here. This range nails the small blind. I fold. Our next hand, we have a beautiful 6-8 of spades. We are in the +1. Under the gun limps, so we go ahead and limp. We're not open limping here, but we are getting in some cheap hands that can flop pretty well. The small blind ups it to $60. Small blind has a big stack. The big blind calls. I'm getting pretty good odds here with the stack sizes, so I go ahead and make the call. The flop comes ace 7 deuce. Small blind makes it 100. The big blind instantly calls. Maybe I shouldn't have been in this hand in the first place, but I'm definitely out now. I fold. Our next hand we pick up ace 10 in the cutoff. The button straddles for 10. We have 1 caller on my right. I raise it up to 30, and only the big blind calls. The flop comes ace 8-8. That's pretty good for our hand. Now we don't have the best kicker. Big blind could have an 8. Other than that, we're not too worried about this hand. I make it 50, and he calls. Turn is the 3 of diamonds. I make it 100 to go, and he insta-shoves for 325 more. Not much of a choice here. These guys aren't bluffing, but they're all ins. Big blind has a lot more 8s than I do. My ace is at the bottom of my range. I decide to give this one up and look for a better opportunity. And in our final hand, we pick up king queen. There's an under the gun straddle for 25. 2 calls. The cutoff makes it 50. Everyone calls. We're going 5 to the flop. Flop comes 6-4 deuce. Middle position makes it 60. The small blind calls. I don't have much of a choice here. I have absolutely nothing. We're going to be folding our last hand. It's a little earlier than I normally end the session, but we're up big. The cards have dried up, so we head to the rack and cash out.
Oh man, that was pretty crazy. It was very interesting, and I got a hand that I haven't gotten in a long time, plus a bonus promo of $75. So when I got here, I was top of the list for 1-3. That's pretty much all I'm bankrolled for. I don't have a problem playing 2-5. I just don't have the money for it. And I stood there for 20 minutes waiting for a seat. Didn't look like anything was going to happen. Lots of nitty players. There were 7 on the list for 2-5. So I asked him if I joined 2-5, would he start a game right away? And he said, yeah. So that would mean the 2-5 starts, I get to play, and everyone else on the 1-3 gets to play because they replace all the 2-5 players. So that's what we did, and it was a fortuitous decision. I was in for 300, out for 1690 for a 1390 profit. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. It really helps out the channel. These things do take forever. All right, good luck at the poker tables.